Let's go.
New week, new us.
We good to go? Okay. We are on right now. What's up, guys? It's Babcock here from TMZ Sports. We're doing something new. It's this every day, starting now today. We're a little bit late. We had some technical issues. Every day from 4 to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, from 1 to 2, we are going to be live streaming. Kind of give you a behind-the-scenes look at what's happening here in the newsroom. This is specifically here. This is our sports pod. You got Lucas, Edward. Everybody is right here now. Every day, what I would do, I would go up there to the stage where TMZ Live used to be filmed, and I would sit up there. Obviously, was kind of disconnected from everything that was happening over here. We're not doing that anymore. We're going to do it right from this pod. So on the live stream, you'll be able to watch the show as it's taped. You'll get to hear some of the back and forth with the producers. What are we talking about? What are we thinking? As we go to commercial and when we're in our breaks, we can talk about stories. We can talk about stories we just covered. We can talk about things that happened over the weekend, NFL games, the boxing match. I mean, anything that we want to talk about, that's what we will discuss. So again, this is going to happen for an hour each day. We will do our best to start promptly right at the top of the hour, again, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 Pacific today, first time. All right, Steve, so Steve is our executive producer of the TV show, by the way, who you hopefully are going to be able to hear as we kind of go through this rundown really quickly. Steve and I have went through it already, but we'll go through it just so everybody kind of gets an idea of what we're going to talk about, what's on the agenda today, and then what we'll do is we'll tape the TV show.
You got me, Babcock?
Yeah, I got you, Steve.
Awesome.
Here, let me get my paper here. Hang on one sec. Right. Hang on one second, Steve. Okay. All right. So, Steve, what are we thinking here?
We're going to start with Travis and Taylor. Week 2 almost in the books, but a lot going on in that game. You had Taylor arriving behind a barrier. Tough game for Travis. A drop. Crazy outfit he was wearing on the way in.
Okay.
So a lot to talk to with that game.
Okay, so that's A1, right?
Yep, that's A1. Then we're going to move on to A2. It might be the first interview that Terence Crawford has done since Saturday night. He obviously goes in there, takes care of business, beats Canelo. You had an opportunity to talk to Bud. We're going to play some of that interview for our live stream audience today.
Okay.
The rest of that interview tonight on FS1.
Okay, yeah, so that's a good point there. So, Terence obviously was super busy today, so Steve and I recorded that just a little bit ago, maybe 45 minutes or so ago. So, like Steve said, we'll play some of it so you can hear some of what Terence had to say, and then that full interview then will be on the TV show tonight on FS1. Steve, real quick on A1, we tossed to the drop / interception. And then it goes into Andy Reid?
No, it'll just be one soundbite. So just video of Travis dropping the ball, gets returned, and then we're going to toss to Andy Reid. Andy talking about the drop, but also Travis, who was super extra hyped on the sideline.
Right. No, I'm sorry though. So, but is the drop?
No
is that
call.
B-roll?
The call's just B-roll. The play is just B-roll.
Gotcha. Okay, understood. Okay, all right. So that's A block. B block is
the biggest story in week 2 so far. Joe Burrow going to miss up to 3 months with that toe injury.
Okay.
We're going to hear from the legendary radio analyst of the Bengals, Dave Lapham.
Okay.
40 years he's been doing it behind the mic.
Wow.
He's going to walk some Bengals fans off the ledge today that season's not over with Jake Browning.
Yeah, they're freaking out. Okay. Sounds good.
C block, another good guest for today. We also pre-taped earlier today Shaquille O'Neal.
Great.
Shaq versus Master P. And we're not talking about DJing or anything. We're talking about basketball.
Okay.
So you'll toss to Shaquille. We'll hear some of that interview, the rest on FS1.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap up the show in our final segment. Conor McGregor reveals he's not going to run.
Dropping out of the presidential race.
He is dropping out.
Okay. Great. Okay, awesome. All right, so we will be good to go here in just a second, guys. Okay, cool. Rachel, that's the kind of comments I'm talking about, too. Right. The person, what they want. That might be more more accurate. Okay, Steve. So, Mojo, you can hear me okay?
I got you, baby. I'm ready to do it.
Great, great, great.
What's up, everybody?
Mojo, by the way, is coming to us from his house in Florida. So, yeah, good thing for Zoom. Okay, Steve, you tell me when you want to do this and what we'll do. So, how do we say we're doing this? Is yeah. Okay. So we're going to Edward first for Taylor. Luke. Okay. For the drop. Okay. Gotcha. That sounds great. Okay. Let's do this. Okay. No, you should be good, Ed. Good. Okay, so we're going Edward, Lucas, Mojo, and we will be set. 4 catches for 61. That's the only thing I got going for me. Thank you. My barber will be very happy. You know, I try and get a haircut every week. My barber, he used to charge like $20 literally when I came to LA in 2013. And I told him, I was like, you should raise your prices. Like, it's way too cheap. And now the guy's charging like $70. And I was like, not for me, for everybody else, man.
Yeah, you negotiated that rate for him, man. You get grandfathered in at the old. Dude, my massage therapist has charged me the same rate for like 6 years. Everyone else that comes in later gets the new rate, but I'm grandfathered in, so I'm good.
I need you to go talk to my guy at Master Barbers over there.
I got you, buddy. That's what I'm here for. You're the brains, I'm the muscle on this show.
We're in trouble if I'm the brains. All right, Steve, are we ready to go? Can we do this? Okay. Yeah, I'm good to go. So, okay, and we're showing the her walking, or put what we think is Taylor walking in with the partition. Cool. Let's do it. Welcome to TMZ Sports. Babcock here. It's a new show, guys. We are doing this. Stage is gone. We're in the middle of the newsroom now. That's where we're going to do the show every day. It's going to be a lot more free-flowing. If things are breaking, we are going to bring that to you. We're going to start today, as Week 2 is almost in the books here of the NFL season, with Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Now, if there's one thing that we know since they have started dating is that especially when there's a home game, when there's a game at Arrowhead, Taylor Swift has been there. But yesterday, Sunday, was a little bit different, Ed, because for the first time, she was not shown on television. We did not see her a single time, not in the luxury booth, nowhere. And we have now got this video that seemingly it's who we have been told and led to believe is Taylor Swift sneaking into the stadium behind what was
a partition that we're not necessarily sure about this, but if you do your research and your homework on it, it appears to be a $6,000 bulletproof partition.
Right.
So who knows if this is perhaps related to the Charlie Kirk assassination attempt? Perhaps she's a little bit timid being in large crowds, but still wants to see her man. But that appeared to be what that video showed, her walking behind this bulletproof partition on her way to a secluded seat somewhere in Arrowhead Stadium.
Right. And I mean, again, there have been I think a lot of people have watched the games because Taylor's there, but there have been an equal amount of people likely that have complained that they show her too much. So, you know, this is something that as I think late last year, certainly, they have shown her on TV as every opportunity that they've gotten. And it just didn't happen yesterday. And you're right, it's in impossible to obviously ignore what has happened with the Charlie Kirk assassination, and we don't know if it's because of that, but this is clearly something that just happened on Wednesday, and now the game's on Sunday, and all of a sudden she may be kind of taking refuge behind this bullet-resistant material here as she walks in. That's that. Now, as for what happened on the football field, it went great. The reality is that Travis Kelce, look, he had a bad start to the year last year, and he had a down year, I think, overall. But he has not had a great start to this season. Sure, he's had a couple catches. He had a touchdown last week. But potentially a mistake, Lucas, that cost them the game yesterday?
Possibly, depending on who you ask. But,
it's too early in the fourth quarter to blame
we know what happened week one. And Travis, after that game, talked about how, I wasn't really in necessarily the right mind space. I wasn't ready to go.
Which I don't know what that means, by the way.
You saw what happened with Xavier Worthy.
Yeah.
He was really upset about that.
Yes.
But then you come in week two, and there's a lot of emotion going into this game. It's a rematch of the Super Bowl. They were out to prove that, hey, we don't want to go 0-2. By the way, they haven't been 0-2 in a very long time, since 2014. So there was a lot going on Sunday.
Yeah.
But early in the fourth quarter, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes throws it to him. Should have caught the ball.
Right.
He doesn't. It gets intercepted. Huge return. Eagles go on to win this game.
Right.
Travis Kelce, throughout the game was showing a lot of emotion. He was saying expletives on the sideline, left and right and everything. But ultimately what it came down to is after the game, Andy Reid was asked about it, and he's not blaming Travis Kelce.
Kelce had a nice day with the completions. I know he's upset at the last one, but we keep rolling here and keep getting better. Listen, he's trying to get guys fired up and going. That's him. He's that way every week if you keep an eye on him. So he's all in all the time. So that's the way he was today.
So Travis Kelce finished the game, 4 catches, 61 yards.
Yeah.
Someone who is an all-pro talent, you're going to want a little bit more out of him. There's the discussion whether Travis Kelce is washed or maybe his mind is elsewhere. I'd love to hear what the chat has to say about that. There's always going to be that narrative around Travis, especially dating Taylor Swift now. But
yeah, I can't blame somebody. I can't look. He should have caught the ball. It probably would have been a touchdown, and they, at the very least, they're getting a field goal. You would imagine. A play that happens with 10+ minutes left or whatever was left in the fourth quarter. I'm not going to blame Travis Kelce for the loss, but obviously it's a play that you would think a guy who was maybe the greatest tight end of all time, especially pass catching tight ends, you would think that Travis Kelce makes that catch. Now, before all that happened, before Taylor Swift potentially snuck in behind the partition, before Travis Kelce maybe drops what could have been the game-winning touchdown, he came to the stadium too in an outfit, Mojo. It was an outfit. A lot of people are getting on Travis. You're kind of you're the fashion guy here, Mojo. What did we think of his outfit yesterday? The suit with the cutoff short. I don't know.
Hey, Babcock, I saw a lot of people online saying that partition should have been used for Travis Kelce instead of T. Swift with an outfit like that. But I think they're all wrong, Babcock. This is the look. The guy is coming in sharp. He's got a suit on. Shorts with suits are increasingly acceptable these days. I typically do the opposite. I scrap the sleeves when it comes to my suit, and I keep the pants. So we're operating in bursts here, but I guess that's a good thing when you're doppelgangers with each other. But the look was all right, and I think as far as the Chiefs go, as far as Travis Kelce goes, I think all the Chiefs fans out there need to take a deep breath. Yes, 0-2 is unfamiliar territory, but you played a strong Chargers team for that first loss overseas, mind you, which doesn't make things easier. And then you take on the defending Super Bowl champs. You only lose by 3. So this season is not a wash by any means for the Chiefs. It just started out as a tough schedule. They'll bounce back. There's a reason why Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, and Andy Reid have gotten to where they are. They know how to bounce back, right? Long season ago, Travis Kelce still led the team in receiving. One bad mistake, everybody's entitled to that. And you had a whole quarter left of football yet left. So I think everybody needs to just chill out a little bit. I still think the Chiefs are going to be players this year. A lot of football left this season.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Mojo. Look, you don't want to start NFL seasons 0-3, 0-4. That's when things get really tricky. Although teams that have, in the middle of a dynasty, that doesn't typically happen to them. I think if there's anybody that could bounce back, it's likely the Chiefs. I will say this, and the Giants looked a heck of a lot better yesterday, but they do have the Giants Sunday Night Football this week. The Chiefs are a far more talented team than the Giants, so obviously I would expect for the Chiefs to finally win a game this season, 1-2, and they'll go on from there. Before we move on here, I should say this. We have also talked with our sources. Now, was there a decision made by Fox or by the NFL not to show Taylor Swift? That's not what we have been told. We have been told that Fox just didn't know where Taylor Swift was. If they don't know where she is, they can't show her on television. So that's why it seems like there was a real effort made here by Taylor Swift or her team to not be seen, and mission accomplished, because not a single time on that entire broadcast. Okay, so guys, that'll be the whole show. That'll be A1, right, Steve? I can't hear you if you're talking to me, Steve. Okay, I got you. Okay, cool. Why, just because we were heavy there? Okay.
All right, I'm watching us on this live stream right now. Let's see what these people are talking about, folks.
Something like that.
They're probably talking about how awesome my hair is. Oh, Rachel hyping me up, putting me over. There we go, Rachel M. I love to see it.
All right. So, Steve, what are we thinking as far as because obviously we're going to do Terence.
Yeah, let's. So now we'll still do Terence next. I'll probably move down into the second segment. But the same drill as we talked about earlier. You'll just explain that we talked to Bud, and you're going to toss to.
Okay.
To
well,
Bud.
do you want to just do that now while we're sitting here trying to figure out what we're doing? Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So do you want me to relay that, and we can play a little of Bud, and then we'll figure out what the rest of the show looks like?
Yep.
Okay, so guys, like I think Steve said earlier, we actually had a conversation with Terence Crawford. Of course, Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez Saturday night. That was an absolutely unbelievable event, at least in my mind. If you guys disagree, tell me. Awesome event, and we had an opportunity just 2 days later here to talk with Terence Crawford. Now, we taped the interview as part of the show. We're going to run all of that later, but we wanted you to be able to see at least some of what Bud Crawford had to say. So, without further ado, let's run that now.
Oh man, I'm just relaxing. You know, I have the time to, decompose and just look back at the fight and things like that, and just be grateful for the opportunity and to actually tell the people, I told you so.
Terence, did it go the way you expected it to go when you would kind of run through it in your mind? Is that how you thought that the fight would ultimately turn out?
Yeah, for sure. You know, I thought that it was going to be a technical fight. I knew Canelo was tough. I knew Canelo, is an all-time great, and I knew I was going to win. Like I said before, in the build-up, I was going to win by any means necessary.
We know it was the biggest fight of your career, but looking back, was it the hardest fight of your career?
I wouldn't say it was the hardest fight of my career, but it definitely was the biggest fight of my career.
Are you content, Terence? I mean, I'm sure not to count your paycheck here, but I'm sure the money obviously incredible. You've done so much. Are you content with your career where it stands right now? If you were to never step foot in that boxing ring again as a fighter, are you content with how everything has gone?
Absolutely. If I was to hang up the gloves right now, I would definitely be content with, all my accomplishments and the things that I've done in the sport of boxing.
How do you make the decision now as to what you do next? Is it just sitting down, talking with your family, seeing what happens over the next couple weeks and months? How will you make that decision ultimately?
Well, I'll just talk to my team, my family, and we'll make that decision, when the time comes.
Do you have any interest in a rematch after the fight? Canelo seemed to indicate, at least in the ring, that he would obviously be open to that. Do you have any interest in even talking about a rematch against Canelo Alvarez?
Right now, I don't have no interest in anything because, it's, it's fairly new. We're not even 48 hours away from, me fighting. So, I'm relaxing and enjoying my victory right now.
I saw someone write an article that says Terence Crawford, the greatest fighter of this generation. What is the answer to that question?
That's a fact. Terence Crawford is the greatest fighter of this generation and one of the all-time greats of the sport of boxing.
How much does it irk you that you have had just one loss in your career, and it is to me in ping pong?
I beat you.
Congratulations, Terence, man. It was amazing to watch, an amazing event, and we could not be happier for you, brother.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
I mean, you would have no idea if you didn't watch it with your own eyes that this guy was just a part of one of the biggest boxing matches ever. He is so cool, calm, and collected, and I think that's it's like, I'm a Giants fan. It gives me like an Eli Manning type vibe. He is just so he's just so calm, and the moment's not too big for him. And he said what he was going to do, and that's exactly what Terence Crawford did. I think people doubted him. I doubted him. I thought going up, 15 pounds against a guy who had fought, in Canelo at 20, 30 pounds heavier than Terence had ever fought. I thought that was going to be too much. The power would be too much. And I thought that not necessarily that Bud would get knocked out, but that Canelo would win this fight. And it was not really all that close. It was a pretty thorough beating by Terence Crawford. I have not seen Canelo handled like that in a long time. Did he lose to Dimitri Bivol? Yeah. Has he lost before? Yes. He lost to Floyd Mayweather as a young guy. I had not seen Canelo beaten like that before, and I think he may be a touch past his prime, but the reality is that Terence Crawford, in my mind, and he said it there, he's the best fighter of this generation, and he's one of the greatest fighters that we've ever seen ever, period. Anyone got anything, Luca, on the fight? Any thoughts? Anyone watch? It's free, which is great, as long as you got a Netflix subscription.
I mean, I think it's super special that we're able to have fights like this, like historic fights like this, for once not being on pay-per-view. I think that's something that, as obviously with this UFC acquisition happening recently, to not have to spend $90 on a fight and everybody being able to watch, I think is really big for the sport of fighting in general.
I agree, and I think the UFC leads the way here now, and obviously you see boxing here and there. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson, that was on Netflix. I know a lot of people hated that fight, but bottom line is people watched it. It was 108 million people, more than any other fight ever, and people watched that, and I think. I think this is the future of fighting. I think January, UFC goes to Paramount, CBS Paramount. No more pay-per-views for them, at least not for the foreseeable future. And I think this is going to be big for boxing. I will say this, too, and I touched on this in the interview with Bud. We fighters for too long, boxers, and this is not a case with the UFC, but boxers, they would not fight each other. You pad your record, you protect your record, and you're content getting your paycheck and cashing it and fighting guys who you can beat. That was not the case here for Canelo and for Bud. Either guy could have won that fight.
Absolutely.
But they put it on the line, and that's what the sport needs. And I was really encouraged by it. Same thing, Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis. So this is what we need from boxing. It's a great sign.
Yeah, I don't know, Babcock. I mean, when you hear Bud's interview afterwards, this was essentially a done deal in his head, right? He knew he was going to win. He genuinely believes that he's the best. And he went out there and did exactly what he was told. I mean, look, I know in all of my big moments in football and wrestling, when I had a big win, you typically do the very boring post-game interview afterwards. Oh, yeah, this was a team win and we played really hard and all that boring stuff. But the second the cameras were off, you're in the locker room going nuts. You're celebrating. You don't get this from Bud at all, right? Like, he legitimately expected to win and he's already on to the next. It's like this didn't even matter to him. It didn't even register on an emotional scale to him. I mean, and that, to me, that says a lot about how he values himself and his abilities. I mean, everyone knows that this was a generational fight, right? Him and Canelo, this is going to be a big one. This is going to be for the books. And he absolutely owned that fight, dominated that fight. doesn't even seem to care about it. You
No.
know, it's an easy win.
You know
He's
what,
on to the
Mojo?
next.
I think
that
it's that
speaks
he
volumes.
expected it. I don't think, and I know what you're saying, Mojo. I don't think it's even that he doesn't care. I think he cares a lot, and he knows what this did for his legacy. I think he expected to win. So while everybody else might have doubted the guy, I think he knew in his mind that he was going to go in there and he was going to win like he has every other single time that he has ever stepped in that ring. That's just the talent, the level of talent that this guy possesses, and it really is remarkable. When you watch,
except to you in ping pong.
Except there. You go back and look at like Andy Ruiz when he fought Anthony Joshua and he shocked the world and beat Anthony Joshua and he's jumping around in the ring like a little kid. He didn't expect to win and he was shocked. Not the case for Bud Crawford. So it's remarkable, and I think that's a fight that, go 5 years, 10 years, 20 years down the line. I think that's a fight that people tell their kids, you tell your grandkids about. That's how important of a fight that is. Okay, cool. So check that out later. Again, that will be on the show, the full interview. There I am with a little ping pong. I let him win. All right, Steve. Are we going to Joe Burrow still?
Next.
I missed the front of that, Steve. Joe Burrow?
J-Rock, you can bring my mic up. Babcock, let's do Shaq next. So this is a short Shaq soundbite. It's Master P and Shaq. So Master P laid out the challenge. Shaq has responded.
Okay. Am I tossing to that?
Yep. You're just.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm doing that. Right. Okay. So that was last week we heard from P, right?
Correct.
Okay. So last week we heard from Master P. Master P issues the challenge. And
we might get a scrimmage.
Shaquille O'Neal now responding. Okay, Sac State, right?
Yep, Sacramento State and University of New Orleans.
Got it.
Cool.
Okay. Let's do it. Okay, you count me down. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. Shaquille O'Neal versus Master P. It's not like a DJ battle, no, nothing like that. We're talking a basketball game, but two guys not playing each other. So you may have seen this last week. Master P, who is an executive, is the director of basketball operations, I believe is his official title at the University of New Orleans. He has been tasked with re-energizing that program. Well, Master P, talking to us last week, he challenges Shaquille O'Neal, who holds essentially the same job at Sacramento State. So you've got these two legends who are running these college basketball programs. Master P challenged Shaq. He said, let's play a game. Well, a little bit earlier today, I had a chance to speak with the big fella. I asked him if he was interested in going against P.
You know what? Me and Shaq is boys, but I know, like, we got on the phone and we was talking about Sacramento playing University of New Orleans because his son played for the University of Sacramento. Talked to Mike Bibby, and it's something that we want to do, but I think both our schedules, we already made our schedule, so I don't think it could happen this year. But if y'all want to see that, y'all need to call the NCAA and say, look, man, at least let us scrimmage each other this year. I think that'll be big for the culture. In New Orleans, Shaq and Master P at the University of New Orleans and University of Sacramento, that would be crazy.
You tell Master P when we do this game, if we're allowed to put a little wager on it, I'll put whatever.
There we go.
You tell him that Shaq D's and that no limit money should be about the same. So if we're allowed, I don't know how that works, but listen, Master P has been a long time friend of mine. I'm proud of what he's doing. You know, in New Orleans. If the NCAA allows it, I would love to get a scrimmage game this year, but if not this year, definitely next year.
That'd be awesome. Are you fighting? Are you taking a boxing match?
I've thought about it, but probably not. I'm too old.
You kicked Oscar's ass. That was a few years ago, though.
I was young then.
So hopefully not an NCAA violation from Shaquille.
Let's make note of that Shaq said, if it's allowed. And I'm pretty sure it is not at all. But it's fun to talk about.
Although anything goes in college sports now.
So well, think about it. Think of what these two guys are doing for these programs. I mean, Sacramento State, I had to look up a lot as I was writing this story about the program. UNO I did not know existed, and that is no shade to University of New Orleans.
I thought we were talking about the card. I thought we were talking like Uno.
Yeah,
when I first saw
Master
that,
P does everything.
I thought he joined the Hasbro or something. I don't know who owns it.
To be completely honest, no, this is going to do a lot of great things, and I hope that they continue to stick it out for a few years because that momentum is going to grow. They're going to get more recruits. They're going to get more eyes on the program, and it's just fantastic things from both Shaq and Master P.
Yeah, Mojo, do you think you see big stars that, like Shaq and like P, get involved and do this? I mean, especially for a team out there that might not have a whole bunch of money to spend on NIL deal, a name, image, and likeness deals. You get a celebrity like Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, that could really, really help, like Lucas said, recruiting.
First of all, I got to say this, fellas. I also, too, thought this was about Uno cards at first. I even looked it up to see if Master P was working on them. They've been in the news recently, like bringing it into Vegas casinos.
Right.
People are playing Uno. So I was like, all right, that's a tie-in, I guess, of some kind. I was a little confused as to how this was coming together. But now it makes sense. Guys, if Shaq and Master P want this to happen and they're willing to show up and be at this thing, it's going to happen. It makes too much sense not to. I mean, think of all the revenue that can come in from this. Even if it's a scrimmage, it doesn't matter. Sponsors will want to be a part of this. Now we're living in the world of NIL money. I know firsthand from some of these schools, they are struggling right now to get top athletes to come to them. All the big schools got all the NIL budget. They're buying up all the talent. This is a golden opportunity for two smaller schools to make a statement and bring in some names. I mean, there will be players out there that want to go play for one of these two teams to get a little closer to Shaq, to get a little bit closer to Master P. So I think this makes all the sense in the world. And I also think it's a good precedent for the league. Like I just said, NIL money is tough to go around for some of the smaller schools. If some of these celebrities, pro athletes, start attaching themselves to some of these universities, that is the workaround to the financial component. That's how you give back to the school. I am all for this 200,000%. I hope every small school starts doing this.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I don't think we have enough time now. Basketball season is about to be here, college basketball season.
Too late.
I'm not sure we've got time for it to happen this season, but I think this is something you will absolutely see happening next year. I couldn't help but notice as P was talking, I said, okay, he just gave himself the home game, but it makes sense. Shaq is a legend from Louisiana, so makes sense for him to take his Sacramento State squad to his home state. So, again, I don't think it happens this year, but look for it to happen next year.
Hey, man, New Orleans is close to me over here in Orlando. If that happens, I'm good.
You got to travel over there, Mojo. Okay, so Steve, so there we go. We got
well, let's do Bengals. Biggest NFL story.
Okay, you want to do Bengals? So was that B there then now?
Shaq is C, and then we'll do Bengals here as the D block, and then we'll say goodbye.
Okay, so Kelce A, Terence was B.
Terence is B, Shaq is C, and now Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow, probably the biggest storyline to come out of Week 2. Arguably the best quarterback in the NFL. Once again injured.
Correct, and we talked to Dave Lapham, the 40-year radio analyst for the Cincinnati Bengals.
All right, you want me to toss to that?
Yeah, you want to toss to it? Let's just do this one, you and Mojo.
Okay.
3.5 minutes, and we'll say goodbye right here as well.
Got it.
And then we'll do Connor for the viewers watching on the stream.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, cool.
Joey B, that sucks.
Yeah, that's
Calves and toes and
awful.
Not fun ones.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of people, they look at it, they say, oh, turf toe, we play through it. But clearly it's a very hard injury to play through.
Yeah, especially
Brutal,
at a position like that.
Brutal. Okay, cool. Lapham, right, Steve? Radio. Got it. Okay, just 1 second here, guys. We'll be good to go. All righty. 3.5. Okay. Okay. Hang on one sec. So Bengals end up winning the game. So Jake Browning. So we're at Bengals 1-1.
Wait, Bengals
T and 2. No,
2-0.
they're 2-0. They won week 1 too. Yeah. Oh, that's what they got going for them at least. Okay, cool. Let's do it. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna try to take a win away from you.
Browns and Jaguars.
Okay. All right, Steve. Let's do it. Okay. If I'm looking straight though, am I not already looking at Mojo? Oh, you're saying here. Turn left like we did. Okay. Just like, yeah. Okay. Just like Corey and I did last week. Right? Okay. Yeah, Madison's raising it up.
No, that's great. It's about his head.
Just make sure I'm like 8 inches taller than Babcock,
Yeah,
guys.
I know. Well, just to make it accurate.
I don't know, man. After
Mojo's
that ping
tall
pong
around the
victory,
more
I'm not
jacked
messing
guy.
around.
He was like kidding aside, he was really good.
At ping pong?
He was really good at ping pong, yeah. You know, which I guess it makes sense. He had very quick hands, which.
Yeah. Just starts
No
pummeling you
shocker
with-
there, right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, and there's no sound here, right? Oh, yeah. I'll toss to Dave first, okay? Okay.
Dave.
Okay. Welcome back to TMZ Sports. The Cincinnati Bengals are 2-0. That's the good news. They beat the Jaguars yesterday. Now for the bad news. Joe Burrow, who I think you can make a case is maybe the best quarterback in the world, certainly top 3, top 4 quarterback in the world, went out in the first half with a serious toe injury. Now you say a toe injury, how bad can it be? Well, it is bad. It sounds like Joe Burrow is going to miss at least 3 months, and there is concern. We've got a big Bengals fan right here in our office, Ryan. There is real concern that Joe Burrow might ultimately end up missing the entire season. So again, while they might be 2-0 right now, what does the next 4 months look like for the franchise? Well, there are a lot of people who are freaking out, let's be honest. But maybe you shouldn't be. So we talked to a guy who, way back in the day, used to be a Bengals star, in fact, played in a Super Bowl for Cincinnati, and now for the last 4 decades has been on the microphone. He is the color analyst for the Bengals. Dave Lapham, telling Bengals fans out there why it's not time to panic.
They're on the ledge. They got to be walked off the ledge. 40 years in the broadcast booth as a radio analyst. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks, seen a lot of quarterback play. There's no question that Joe Burrow is the best I've ever seen. And to feel like Jake Browning could go out there and do everything that Joe Burrow does and has done is unfair. It's unrealistic. But I do believe that the Bengals can win a lot of football games with Jake Browning as the quarterback. I would honestly take Jake Browning as my starting quarterback over other starting quarterbacks in the National Football League. I think there are a few that Jake Browning can go out and perform better than on a week-to-week basis. So I think the Bengals feel like they're very fortunate to have a quarterback the caliber of Jake Browning coming in with Joe Burrow having to sit out for a bit. And they're going to try to take full advantage of it, win as many football games as they can.
You know, Mojo, it's right. Jake Browning, he may be a heck of a good backup, but he is never going to be Joe Burrow, and that's just the reality. Joe Burrow is irreplaceable unless Josh Allen's walking through the door, which he's not. Irreplaceable.
Well, Babcock, this is time for everybody to make some lemonade, buddy. We got a rough situation here. Cream rises to the top. This is the golden opportunity for Jake Browning to step up and make a name for himself. You never want your friends to get injured, ever, especially when it's your starting franchise quarterback. But if you're Jake, You have to come into this thing almost as if it's a blessing in disguise. This is your time to shine. You go out there and you ball out and you put tape out there, then your future changes, whether that's with the Bengals or not. Once Joey B comes back, you might be on your way somewhere else as the starting quarterback of another franchise. So this is the time for him to step up and do his thing. And for Joey B, your lemonade comes in the form of making yourself the 3-time NFL Comeback Player of the Year, 2021, 2024. And potentially this year, 3 months is not the entirety of the season. It's most of the season. It's definitely enough time for your team to miss the playoffs, but you also left them with a 2-0 streak to start the season. So as long as Jake Browning can hold it down until you're back, hey man, that could be a good situation for him to come in, take the reins back, and propel them into the postseason. So is that going to happen? I don't know, Babcock. I don't see it personally. You're talking about the AFC North. The Ravens may have lost the other day, but they are an absolutely stacked franchise. They are going to go deep this year. You also got the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers back in the mix over there. Let's see how they do. It's going to be a tough one for the Bengals, but again, lemonade for people. Ready
Absolutely, Mojo. What can you do? They're without Joe. He's not coming back. He's not coming back for at least 3 months. You're probably looking at 12, 13 games or so. It helps a heck of a lot that they are 2-0 here. They've given themselves somewhat of a cushion. Look, they're a talented team. They're more talented than just Joe Burrow. But we know the name of the game when it comes to football in the NFL, and you need a great quarterback, and that's exactly what Joe Burrow is. He's just not going to be there for a little bit. All right, we have got to go. This is how we're going to do it from now on. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to, again, middle of the newsroom every single day. Until tomorrow, have a great night. We'll see you then. Boom. Good. So that's one in the books. We're going to do it like this every day. Kind of likely will change a little bit, and as we kind of feel this out and see what works best, what doesn't work. But yeah, that's the way we're going to do it, guys. We will try and talk about some of the biggest stories, whatever's biggest in pop culture and all that. We will touch on that every day. We'll try and bring you, big guests day in, day out, and we're going to have some fun. Anything, Steve?
Yeah, Babcock, we had to tease it still, but just because we mentioned it earlier, let's. Anybody have thoughts on Conor McGregor dropping out of office?
That's interesting. Conor McGregor is, I'm sure a lot of people have heard, Conor McGregor was before today was running for, or wanted to run for president of Ireland, was not yet on the ballot. He has dropped out. What did he say? Timing not right? That's yeah.
I talked to my family and I kind of just reevaluated the whole situation, and now's not it.
Right.
But he did specify, this is not the end of my political career by any means.
Yeah.
This is just the beginning.
Felt a little rushed,
my message, and
right.
I think what it really came down to is he had a few conversations with people who were like helping him out in the process and everything, and they're just like, look, it's not happening. Because in Ireland, you have to have the approval of people in actual office in order to get on the ballot. And he was not going to get that the way it stands right now.
Right.
He's very confident that down the road, maybe that could change.
Yeah.
That the actual legislation can include
or change rules
regular
so he would
people.
Be able to,
And he believes that him just even getting interested in running for president will change that, and that put a spotlight on a rule that he thinks should be changed.
It got people talking. I mean, look, it got people talking, and if Donald Trump, I think, has shown people anything, it's that you don't necessarily have to have been a mayor or a governor or a congressman. You don't need to have done that to ascend to the highest office of the land. It happened for Donald Trump, and I think Conor McGregor, who, by the way, knows Donald Trump, I think he probably looks at him and says, okay, I can do that too. So it wasn't going to happen this election cycle for Conor, but he's still a young guy. He's not even 40 years old yet. Was he mid-30s? And I would not be shocked if, you see this even next election cycle. I would imagine you would see Conor do that.
I mean, for me, I'm looking at this thing like he was putting out feelers, right? I mean, this is a guy that has been a megastar, the face of the UFC for years. He's in the twilight of his career. Who knows how many fights he has left. you gotta start setting up next steps, right? So running for office like that, especially at that caliber, that gets people talking about you. You're in the news. I mean, hey, The Rock was kind of experimenting with that a little bit himself. He even made that essentially the premise of his show, Young Rock. So get people talking. When he comes back to it later, it's rodeo. He's familiar with what to expect. It's good for him, his brand, his team. They know what they're getting themselves into. So for me, I don't think he ever anticipated he was actually going to enter office. But it was kind of a power move for him. Where does he go after being the face of the UFC? Hard to up that ante, right?
Yeah, I mean, look, he's been super successful when it comes to business. Of course, Proper 12 sold for hundreds of millions of dollars. So Conor McGregor doesn't need to work anymore. He doesn't need to fight, although I think he will fight at least one more time in the UFC. You look at the July 4th White House card. Could that potentially be something? Although Dana White has resisted because I think he wants somebody who he knows is going to be reliable. And can you count on Conor McGregor? If he says he's going to fight, can you count on him to be there for that July 4th fight at the White House? This can't be a situation where the main event is scrapped on July 3rd because Conor McGregor doesn't feel good or he hurt himself. Somebody needs to be there. They need to fight on that White House lawn. So I don't know if that happens for Conor at 1600 Pennsylvania, but I do think you will see him sometime here in the future fighting for the UFC, at least one more time. Lucas, I wanted to try this, but maybe we do that tomorrow.
Maybe, but
because we're
also
it's almost 2.
Something that you should do before 2 o'clock is clean your desk.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm gonna. Do you think?
And then I looked at it, and
let me tell you guys something.
4 different pyramids of cups.
Well, that's one of the commenters also said.
The cups?
How many coffee cups do you need?
Listen, so this is coffee. This is the water. And then I got
a Yeti down there for more water on top of the coffee mate.
Yeah, the 1 gallon. There you go, Babcock.
Let me tell you something. I ordered the half a gallon, and they sent me the gallon.
I told him to send you the gallon. That's why. I said, no half-gallon friends of mine. Give them the whole thing, or not at all.
Call Jeff Bezos. This was, this is, we did it on the show last week. This was Shaquille O'Neal. He's got himself a new cologne, and here it is. But let's try it. Let's do it tomorrow. Something to look forward to.
Yeah, you got to leave them on a cliffhanger, Babcock. I mean, that's the ticket for tomorrow's viewership.
Right. That's exactly right.
The people are happy that you're hydrated, Babcock.
If anybody out there is a fan of Eddie Hall, you got to stay hydrated. Very important. Very important to do. Okay, Steve. So we've got to do teases here, right?
And then wrap up the stream. First tease will be Terence Crawford, though.
Okay. So I got a Terence Crawford. Do we know, Steve, this first time he's talked or no?
Not positive for that.
Okay. Terence Crawford.
Is he the greatest fighter of his generation?
He will answer that question himself.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Well, any Messi, you got to say anything? You want to? You don't have a mic on, do you? It's going well.
This kid was like a student, and now he's like this big,
Yeah.
Amateur.
Screaming star. No, we're excited that sports is doing this now. YouTube is the future.
Yeah, it went well.
Take that to the bank.
We're just going to do some...
Take that to the bank.
We're going to do some teases, and we've got it in the books. We talked to Terence Crawford.
Hey, Mojo.
Harvey, how are you, my friend?
He says, how are you?
I'm good. Okay, I will let you guys be.
Thanks, Harv.
But
I'm
I'm glad you guys joined the party.
Yeah, we had Terence Crawford on.
Oh, you did?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep, and Shaq.
And Shaq? When's Shaq going to host the bus?
Well,
I
know.
No, you need to hound him every time you talk to him.
All right, so Terence Crawford. Coming up next, we're joined. Okay, I got it. Coming up next is now. See, guys, here's what you're gonna learn. I mess up all the time. Let me do it again, Steve. Okay. Coming up next, we're going to be joined by Terence Crawford, fresh off of his shocking, in many people's mind, win over Canelo Alvarez. Is Bud the greatest fighter of this generation? He's going to answer that question next. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal, so we can pick this up right there. Shaquille O'Neal says Sacramento State team down to scrimmage Master P's. Okay, got it. Okay. Shaquille O'Neal says his Sacramento State basketball team is down to scrimmage Master P's New Orleans squad. Shaq with a challenge for P when he joins us next on TMZ Sports. Okay, boom, that's B, and then Joe Burrow. Okay, so that's the ATs there. Up next, big blows, Bengals. Joe Burrow out at least 3 months with a toe injury. Legendary Bengals broadcaster. Okay. Up next, a big blow for the Cincinnati Bengals. Joe Burrow out at least 3 months with a toe injury. A legendary Bengals broadcaster is going to walk the Bengals fans off the ledge when TMZ Sports rolls on right after this. Yeah. Guys, thank you for hanging out with us. We, again, every day, top of the hour, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, we are going to do this. And, well, again, we want this to sort of be interactive. So join, hang out, tell your friends, comment, let's talk. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.